First of all, thank you very much for having me here. What I believe primarily from in the market, I think satellite industry in general, we do have a great opportunity. We have a lot of capacity sitting down in the market, and that actually a start of opportunities in the market. So having said that, I think one of the very, very recent example in the market, what North Telecom have done with its partner YahLive. We have created a broadcasting hotspot for over 100 million viewership, where this market historically was not exist. So if you want to go back and look at on the market, you can see for the past few years, because market is very stagnant, you don't see really too many successful projects. You could see a lot of merging and acquisition, but actually you don't see demand creation. So if I want to call what is the greatest opportunity, it is demand creation. I think we all need to work in hand. Everyone from upstream all the way to downstream, we need to work hand in hand. We need to go after demand creation. But you have also asked me a very, very interesting question. What are the challenges? Actually, the challenge is very well connected to the first question you made. What I can see, with all due respect to colleagues in industry, the most enforced challenge in industry is human capital. Actually, the satellite industry for the past many years was a very lucrative kind of business. Demand was very high, and then supply was less. So you had always basically requirement across the market. You always had the demand available. So I think one of the biggest challenges, we need to change the mentality of human capital. We need to educate them. The market is not on the same path. The market is changing so frequently. The dynamic of the market is changing so fast. So in a very short statement, what are the challenges? Changing the culture of human capital in this particular industry, which is satellite industry. The role of the teleport for creating opportunities, or as I've said, demand creation. I think teleports can play a very, very big role, because you want to use satellite as the application along with the teleport for leveraging toward demand creation, right? So I think customers nowadays, they are mostly looking after added value services. And this is which actually the capacity itself is not concerned anymore. The most concern of customers are focused on the added value. Customers want end-to-end solution. Customers, they are not looking after the satellite capacity anymore. So what I can say for the next 5 years, I think teleport can play a very, very big role on creating those added value services, e.g. Internet application, e.g. broadcasting, IP trunking, maritime, aero, all others, all other basically applications. And I think, and I strongly believe, teleports, they can play a very, very big role on this. The primarily challenge in the market, of course, this is not hidden from the market. It is demand and supply issue, supply and demand issue. We do have a lot of idle capacity sitting down in the market. Okay. Question is how we can overcome. There would not be one single solution to that. As I've said before, the first thing is we guys in the market, we need to change our mentality. Everyone from top, especially the satellite operator. Satellite operators need to stop competing with the service providers. They need to work hand in hand. They have to make sure they are working hand in hand with the service providers and we need to respect the supply chain. If we go after each other, I think we put the customers under uncertainty. Customer need to get their service delivered, and someone need to complete this process. How this can be completed? Through a service provider. So everyone in this supply chain is adding a value. Okay. So how service provider can add the value? They can basically bring some expertise, adding to satellite capacity and delivering to end customers. How teleport can do that? They can transmitting internet, they can transmitting broadcasting services, or basically added value application, you know. And how satellite can do that? Satellite operators, they can do, you know, very, very brief. They can basically bring the satellite capacity to those e.g. satellite service providers or teleport operators, you know, for delivering the service. I think industry in general need to respect the supply chain, and simultaneously we need to change the culture of the human capital. I think this needs to be done simultaneously. Once it is done, then consequently we will overcome, hopefully, on the supply and demand issue. Hopefully demand creation would be there, capacity would be utilized, the market will not suffer from the oversupply capacity, you know. As I've said before, we had created a pure new services for over 100 million viewership in this particular region, you know, together with our dear partner Yah Life. I think, if I recall correctly, I think there was not such a victory for the past 3 years in the market, but this was done. It is a very good example of collaboration, working together hand in hand, you know, and respecting the supply chain.